And how's everybody doing this Saturday? Hope you're doing good. I am. I'm excited. I'm gonna keep playing this music here. Let me turn it down a little bit though. And we'll see if that, you know, gives just a little bit of background music there. Yeah, again, hope you're doing well. We are in day number 447. Cranking out some security labs, including role-based CLI. That's what we're working on right now, but that's actually that title's not reflective of what I've been working on today. The role-based CLI, I'm just starting, but man, I've been really cranking through some security labs. I'll show where I'm at right now in the workbook. So today I've gone through DAI, source guard, catalyst ingress access list, terminal line access, iOS login enhancements. Now in role-based CLI, I've pretty much decided I'm going to finish this security this weekend. So that's the goal, and it's going pretty well. Cisco Live, a week from tomorrow. It's almost here, folks. Pretty excited. I got my itinerary pretty much set out, and I'm really excited because like research some things, TripAdvisor, like things to do in San Diego. So I'm pretty excited. It's going to be interesting, and of course to see all the community members that are going to be there. If you have not yet mentioned in Discord that you are going to be there and you'd like to meet up, let me know. Tuesday night, I'm going to plan a meetup probably around 7 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll pick out a place. So I'm going to scout out some places when I get there. Yeah, but security labs had me really triggered this morning. I mean, more than probably I've ever been. I don't know why so much this morning, but I started on some labs this morning and so much was going wrong. One thing I figured out is there are a number of security features that do not work on this image. So one of them being statically configured source guard. So it works great with DHCP snooping, apparently, but when you do IP source guard with statically assigned static bindings, it does not work at all. What I did is, just for review tomorrow, because I plan to be done by then, but just for review tomorrow, I actually booked some time on INE rack rental labs. So I have 1,800 tokens. I thought I said 1,700, but it looks like I have 1,800. And 1 hour only cost me 5 tokens. So that's not bad. How many is that, by the way? Let's see. Wow, 360 hours. That's a lot of hours. I need to be using it more often. So right now I'm using the Azure lab, but tomorrow we're going to do these on some real switches. So I'm going to go back and redo some of these on real switches. But what I was doing is, instead of just trying to figure out how to do it, some of these features are brand new for me, I would just click on the lab answer, let it explain to me, and walk through the configuration as if someone was holding my hand. That was very effective. We may do that right now for role-based CLI. Although some of the material is coming right from the Cisco docs. So they didn't really do much for these labs. They just pulled like Cisco iOS login enhancements login blocks. So they pulled up that and they made a lab out of what was already in here. I could have done that. Anyway, we're into role-based CLI access. So we're going to work on that now. I've already got some routers up, router 4 and router 6. And by the way, this standard disclaimer, I mentioned the ine.com workbook here for CCINE routing and switching. So these labs are not mine. I don't show the material on screen, so I don't show you the workbook. I don't show you the all that you can get if you purchase a workbook yourself, like the explanation, the answers, screenshots, etc. So But here's the requirements. So on this one, we're going to have a super role, debug, interface 1, and interface 2. So we got quite a mix here. Interface 1, access to all IP commands of Jazz 0, 1, 146 only. Interface 2 is the same, but for Jazz 0, 145, I believe. I can barely hear that. Pardon me one moment here. It's weird how I have to do this audio on the Mac. All right, so what song is that? It's weird. Tag you're it. All right, debug, roll. Any debug and undebug. Running. Super is a sum of all roles, okay? Use password Cisco to secure views. So it's interesting they call this role-based CLI. In Azure we talk a lot about our RBAC, role-based access control. This is nowhere near sophisticated as that, but at least it is role-based CLI access. So what we're going to do here is, by the way, I'm using this doc, which is, I'll post in the chat here. Role-based CLI configuration and guide. So this is the basic. These are some examples. And then that's a super view. I gotta tell you folks, this is like the thing I would do where if I really hated my life, I would do a bunch of these. Oh man, that's why I'm trying to get through security, just for my own sanity's sake. So I'm gonna do parser R4, figure terminal, parser view. What does first mean? Oh, that's just the name. Okay. A network engineer. Oh my God. Finally wait for you to stream. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's not too late your time, right? Well, it is. You told me before what time zone you're in. I don't remember. I know it's much later than mine. So we're going to call this interface 1. Right, London. Okay, I thought London. 2240. 1040. All right. Hope you've had a good day so far. A good night. A good Saturday. Your Saturday's almost over. We're going to do command exec. We're not going to use inclusive here. We're going to say include. I don't know how to restrict an interface. My day has been exhausting. Went shopper, engage a ring for my wonderful fiance. Came home with a massive headache. Dude, I went through that 4 years ago. I put it off as long as I could, and then I dreaded it, man. I hit a mall. And then I hit, I don't know how many jewelry shops. And it was the worst, man. It's worse than doing security labs. But you do it out of, you know, out of love. So that's all good. I understand, man. I had to after I did mine, I had to come home and drink whiskey. So I'm gonna need Parser for this or that, or I'm just gonna look at the answer because this kind of stuff just. Okay, we're gonna say Parser view. I've never configured these before ever. Interface 1. I was like, at 3 shops in, oh, that's nice. 3 shops in. And it kept bragging about her damn PhD in gemology or something, or certificate. I just didn't care. All spinning up 550 pounds, more than my maximum. I know, right? You go in, you're like, I'm not going to spend more of this. I'm not going to spend more than this. And inevitably, well, congratulations, man, on getting to this phase. The other phase, of course, is important, and doing all the planning and you know, popping the big questions. So that's a little more fun. Was more fun to me than picking out the ring, though. I'm excited though for you, man. That's awesome. Commands exec include oh, already, okay, you popped the question without a ring. Brave man. You indeed, and a confident man. That's good. Yeah, we were both chill about it, but she's a world away, so I didn't want to leave. Right? Yeah, I understand, man. The distance. Mine was done also at a long distance. Well, much of my courtship, as you would say. But it has worked out really, really well. I want to say all here. Interface. I'm not gonna sit here and okay, so what they're doing is, what are you doing exactly? So this is role-based CLI access. There was a way to do it via privilege levels. This is similar, but it is, in that link up there, you can read about that can explain it better than myself, but essentially there are different views you can have of the parser. So as opposed to doing privilege levels, though, you can combine different views into like a super views. So that's kind of the advantage of doing it this way. So we're going to do commands, interface, include all IP. It wants a secret first. I was going to put a secret. Jeez Louise. All right, if this doesn't work, commands. Oh, just interface. Fine. Commands, configure, include. I'm only doing this lab like because I have to. Trust me, I would I would almost prefer to watch grass grow than do this kind of configuration on a router, but I guess that's why they pay the big bucks to the IE, right? Supposedly. Commands, configure, include, interface, gigabit, Ethernet. Does it know the interface? No, I have to type it exactly. How do you apply these restrictions to a user? Yeah, we'll show you. I'll show you that in a minute here. We will definitely get to that. So if I do show parser view, interface 1. So this is weird. I can't do. Right, it's not active yet, of course. Enable view. AAA new model, that is correct. So you have to use a new model. You have to enable password Cisco. Enable view. Yeah, it should probably be secret, but the lab here, according to INE, they want you to use a password for some reason. I'm not sure why they're doing that here. It might explain it down below. Yeah, I'd never use enable password. Yeah. Trust me, these security labs have been lame. So show parser view. A lot of this stuff like doesn't work on the image. I got really triggered earlier today. Okay, so if I enable the view, Cisco. So this is my current view. And then if I try to do question mark here, obviously terminal interface. It does give me the IP commands, and that's it. So if I do interface J0145, it doesn't allow me. So that view worked. The other view, I'll do it just for practice. I'll do it just for practice. It has no other like meaning or significance in my life to do. Exit, enable view. Yeah, so if I just do enable view, it puts me back at root. So parser view interface 2 secret Cisco. See, I do secret here. Why do I do an enable password? I have no idea. Pretty much the same. Command interface include all IP commands. Configure include interface. Yes, you can. You can use views and avoid setting privileges on users. That is correct. You can also, something you can do different here. They connect over the view and then they are limited. That's correct. Also, you can combine views into super views. So if you really didn't like your life that much and you created all these different views and you didn't want to recreate a whole bunch of them to combine them, you could do a super view. Include configure terminal commands. Configure include interface gigabit Ethernet 0145. We're going to do another one. Parser view. Junior network engineer view. Junior network and senior view. Director wanted access to all view. Yeah, something like that. Parser view interface 2, which you could pretty much do the same thing with privilege levels. You could create all these different command sets. Thanks so much for putting it all in one line. Okay, interview parser view super view. So you see we have this inclusive and exclusive, or inclusive. I guess you only have exclusive is default, but you can put a super view here. Yeah, t-shirt. Oh, somebody will sell you one. Secret Cisco, and we're going to do view interface 1. Come on, caps lock, word with me, view. So there we've combined those. And that's all there is to it. So now we're going to do enable view super. And now we should be able to show interface J0145. Oh, we can't do that. Yeah, so we can do this, or we can do either interface with that super view. I haven't done Cisco Labbing in a while. I haven't not done Cisco Labbing in a while, to be honest. Oh, so if I do show running here, You can. So you ask, can you not allow them onto all interfaces? So what restricts the interface is this command. So you say, and you can't do them separate. Like, you have to obtusely put this command and then put this command. It's unable to like infer your intention here. But if you do commands configure include interface, by default, you're going to see all interfaces. But if you come back in here and say commands configure include interface Jazzer 145, then you'll be able to see just that interface. So now if we do show parser view, or anything else, anything they have access to configure. No, you have to, that's a command. So if you give them the show running command, then they're able to do show running command. So for example, enable view, that takes you back to root. Then you can do parser view super. Excuse me. There we go. Okay. And you can say commands exec. Wait a second. So if I type this command parser view super again, okay, it's still there, but it's not letting me. Oh, because you cannot add a command to a super view. But let's say I add it to interface 1. But I don't want them to see all the config, just what I've given them access to. Yes, you can absolutely do that on a Cisco router, whether using views or privilege exec mode. You can do show running. I'll show you an example here. That's kind of Emre, hello, bonjour. Super view just makes you not take it seriously. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of a different lesson than this one, but I'm happy to try to demonstrate that. Let's see if I can remember. So let's go parser view interface 2. And we're going to say commands exec include show running config. Then, so they can't even type show running config anything unless you put that in. Then you can limit it, show running config interface. So now let's switch to that view, super. Just watch parser view tonight, great timing. Oh, okay, cool. Emre. It does. So if you do show running config interface, does it change the effect of just show run? Yes. Kind of like an access list. So first of all, let's say you want them to be able to use only 5 show running commands. And you put those 5 commands in there. If you don't put show running config at the top, then the parser will block them from being able to even type show running config. So you have to put show running config, or they won't be able to do anything past that. If you just put show running config, it's going to let them see all the config that they have access to. But then if you, after show running config, you say, okay, now include show running config interface, And that's all they'll be able to run under show running config. Think of it as the words that you're putting in here. So this is what, it's kind of a word list, really. I got this, makes sense. Hey, you're welcome, no problem. Let's see if this actually works. So if I do show running right now, there you go. So before I could not type this at all. Now I've told them that now this is interesting because I told them you can do show running config interface, but above I put a restriction on the interface command. Allow them to look at IP address. That's it. Isn't that cool? So yeah, you could get really, like I said, for me, this would have to be a scenario where I wanted to like punish myself and a network engineer. I do enjoy messing with security things sometimes. I'm glad you do, man. Maybe I'm weird, but I find this interesting. Actually, I'm the weird one probably because everyone has even told me like, if you get more into security, you could make better money. And I agree, I could, but I just so do not enjoy the security side of things. I do it because I have to. I like the routing, you know, and the switching. But whenever I have to touch on security, I guess in the back of my mind, it's just the idea of these measures are only put in place for bad people. And that annoys me so much that it's like, yes, it is necessary. You do need, you know, that's why you need police officers and FBI agents. And I appreciate their work, and somebody has to do it. I just do not enjoy it at all. I do like it as a side hustle on a job where I'm routing all the time. That's cool. I wished I liked it more. I really do. I wished I enjoyed it more. It would make my life so much easier if I enjoyed it. But I just cannot get to the point of really enjoying it. Maybe that'll change one day, but that is going to wrap up this lab. That actually went pretty relatively quickly there. I'm going to make some flashcards. I've been cranking out flashcards as well today because I'm not going to remember any of this stuff unless I, you know, review it like on a daily basis. So I've added 20 flashcards today on security stuff. More lab went so quick, so you obviously have more time. Yes, I do have some dinner plans. But yeah, so this is what I've done. I'm checking off this box. And this is what I've done so far today. DAI, source guard, Callus ingress access list, terminal line access, iOS login enhancements, role-based CLI. Just mark that off. There are 4 more to go in security. Dinner plan and social life discussing. I know, right? So yeah, by the way, network engineer, are you gonna be at Cisco Live? I thought you said you were. Well, you would probably go, I mean, your Cisco Live would be, this year would have been in Barcelona, right? Over in Europe. Gotcha. I doubt it. Okay, no, it was someone else then. It's all right. So we're gonna put this one in here because this kind of caught me. When using role-based, I'm gonna put a true false. When using role-based CLI views, it is possible to add a command configuration to a super view. The answer is false. Not on super views. Yes, sir, you're correct. Super. Based on your 30 seconds of observation. The other thing I'll probably add in here is I should practice this. Create a parser view called operator. Allows access to IP commands on interface Jazz00 only. So we'll do for your terminal parser view. I've been doing more of these. These are the kind of things I want to practice for the lab. Is a goal of SuperView to combine multiple not so super views? That is correct, and to save yourself more typing, basically. So we would do parser view operator secret Cisco commands interface include all. See, like they can't even configure it unless you give them the exec command, configure terminal. Won't be able to type that command. Commands, configure, include, interface, gigabit, ethernet, 00. I don't know how literal this is either. Does include all IP cover, DHCP, etc. too? It would, yes. But if you, so for example, let's, oh, we want to do enable view. I believe you can do command exclude. So we give them all IP commands. But we only let them configure interfaces. So they can configure interfaces, and they get any IP commands under that view. But they can only configure this interface. So they can configure interfaces, and furthermore, they can only configure this interface. But under that configuration mode, so think of like when you have that, right? You can use any IP command. And when you're in exec mode, like I am now, you're allowed to use a configure terminal command. Configure, notice it, this is the other thing. If you put configure terminal here and don't use configure, then it's going to block you as soon as you finish typing configure. Can you set a user's default view for when they connect? That I don't know. I think you can. So for example, Cisco password, Cisco. They do not cover that in this lesson. Yeah, view. So that's how you do it. Username Cisco view. Great question, though. Excellent question. All right. Well, I need a little break from security. Do they then need the password twice? Good question. So I think what would happen in that case, I don't know for sure. Let's try it. Username. View interface 1. And let's do line v2i04. Sorry, I'll stop you from running away. No, it's okay, man. It's okay. You're asking kind of questions like that I would be asking if I was watching me on Twitch. Actually, we should do, let's see, login, authentic. No, login, authentication. Oh, let's do view, enable. Okay, already inside the view root. A authentication, login, default, local. So let's try it from router 6. You gotta be kidding me. Show IP address brief. Interface Jazz 00. No, interface Jazz 01. No shut. And let's say, oh, you know what? I probably don't have access to the command. Well, I don't know. Let's see, telnet. Line v2i04. We need to enable the protocols. Transport input all. Cisco. So I think the interesting. It looks like it completely bypassed that security at all. Okay, so what this does is this is the local. Yeah, it does not. Oh, well, line authentication might bypass it. Information, how to use. Parser view secret commands and enable. Yeah, that's a great question. I have no idea. I guess they would have to know the password. To be able to use that view. Yeah, so if I look at well, it has to have a privilege level associated with it, I believe. Show parser view with router 6. Yeah. So it looks like it's called a context. You're either in privilege level or parser level. No privilege level. Let's try that. Last thing I'm going to try. I know I do need to 6x. Well, I know the enable password, but what if I do, say I don't know the enable password. That's how I have to do it. So it drops me to exec level 0, privilege level 0. Let's say I don't know the enable password for the root view. So I'd have to do enable view interface 1. I have to know that password or secret, and I'm in. Parser. There we go. That's how that works. That's lame. And enabling now doesn't take you to the default view you set. Yes, I think that's the idea, a network engineer. So I'm glad you asked. Basically, let's say, you know, well, I did no privilege level. Let's put that back on. Well, I think it did not have a privilege level anyway. Show run line. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't think it had enable on it anyway. Yeah, she'll run line if you want line spacing. So as you can see, let's just look at the whole config. If I put privilege level 15, that overrides privilege level 1 or 3 or whatever the case may be. That overrides AAA. I put no privilege level, but that command was already there. It's just hidden. The console has privilege level 15. So yeah, I just typed enable, which is the equivalent of enable view, which is the equivalent of enable view root. And I knew the password. But if I did not know that, then I was going to have to type enable view, etc. No, the user has no privilege level defined. So it's working. It's working now. So let's say I come over here, enable password, Cisco. Come back over here, telnet. So I've authenticated to the line, but now what view do I get? Do I get root view, which is a default? I do not. Nope. But enable view interface 1, and I'm in. That's how that works. I'm disappointed in this functionality. Yeah, again, I would only only if I really didn't like myself would I spend a lot of time on this, or if I was told by my paycheck stakeholder that or my paycheck owner that I had to do it. You must be able to override that default or enable. Well, again, enable, you basically have access to any view. Or yes, you can override, because I told it by default to use interface 1, right? Yeah, I'm not sure that that command means a lot in this context. Like we told it that this is its default view, but apparently not, right? Yeah, it allowed me to try doing root. It did not restrict me just to that view, so not sure about that. Right, thanks for hanging out, folks, here on the Landhammer stream. We're gonna get ready to go get some grub. I need some energy after all these security labs today and image issues, but it's been well worth it. Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, I don't know why it's not doing that. I don't know why the user... You would think that putting this user view here, but apparently it's not that sophisticated. So, all right, folks. Well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the great questions and good feedback. And no matter where you are in the world, I'm sending you good bits. Only good bits, no malformed bits. All in the correct order. And cheerio, yes, cheerio. Probably have an ale or two as well. So thanks so much for hanging out. The community, y'all make it. Y'all make, especially sections like these, you make it better, more tolerable. Cisco sends me CRC errors, not the Landhammer. All right, so y'all have a great night, and I'll be back. By the way, 10 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern time, is when I have my INE rack rental booked from 10 a.m. to noon. So definitely tune in for that time. I'm going to be streaming. That should be an interesting experience. My first time using the INE rack rentals. with real switches. So we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to that, actually. Y'all have a great night or morning, whatever the case may be, and we shall see you back here tomorrow on our grind here in the Land Tamer stream. Have a great night.